If Amazon starts moving into empty malls, isn't that going to be worse for the mall? Let's find out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Newsroom. I am Neil Winteregg, joined as always by Dr. Greg Winteregg, CEO of Matterhorn Business Development, and you can find out more about his book down below called Fun at Work. We are here today doing another Newsroom segment where we talk about different things that are going on in the business world that might be interesting and how they might affect you and your business or something along that line. Now, there is some drilling going on across the street. They're building a parking garage or something, but I am a lot louder than a jackhammer, so you shouldn't be too bothered by that.
Business is expanding across the street.
That's right. Although that's the government doing that. I don't know. Our tax dollars hard at work to refacade the parking garage. Anyway, to not carry this on too long. I looked on Business Insider and found an article I wanted to talk about briefly here today about Amazon expanding to taking over old mall spaces from JCPenney and Sears, which is actually something we talked about probably over a year ago of what do we do with these giant retail centers that are now empty? And so they're actually trying to move into some malls and set up fulfillment centers out there to cut down on shipping costs. And just basically, instead of having to rebuild a brand new warehouse,
there's
they're
a
going to be able to
space
move straight in there.
It's big, high ceilings.
Now, to find this article, I had to look pretty hard on Business Insider. It was right underneath the article on what the best kitty litter is. Breaking news.
In the business section.
In the business section of Business Insider. Oh my God. We need to make our own business news website with actual information. Now, the drawback that is being put out there by Business Insider is that bringing Amazon into these big strip malls or these big malls is not going to bring new people into the mall that is then going to benefit the other stores. Now, my counter argument to that is I've never really gone to visit an empty JCPenney before, so...
So you're saying that an empty, evacuated, vacant JCPenney isn't bringing anybody in?
No.
But we shouldn't put some business in there because it's not going to bring anybody in.
Now,
Now, the person who said that does not own the mall.
No. But they do know what the best cat litter is.
No, I'm just saying. The mall owner is sitting there like, dude, I got space. I need some money.
Well, I'm
going to lease this out to Amazon.
Lease it out to Amazon, but then there's two things about this. One, we know Amazon is very smart. Amazon is not going to take over a shopping mall in the middle of a town and have it roped off, closed off, and unable to enter into. I think that they will set up pickup points where you can order it online and it will be ready for your pickup within the hour at that point.
And probably what they'll do is they'll have curb service. Just like when you go to Outback and they bring the food out, you pull up, they deliver your order. These guys will figure it out.
The other thing is that these fulfillment centers probably are being staffed by more people than went into a JCPenney.
No, I'm sure.
Because JCPenney went out of business because nobody was there. So I think that actually bringing these in does exactly what we thought it would do is what do you do with a gigantic empty mall? Let's get something in there to actually use the space. The staff that are there will be going to the malls, eating at the food courts, doing those types of things, which is a huge boom for those guys. But then also, I trust Amazon to not just, do nothing with this space other than fulfillment. I think that they're going to be able to do something else to actually make it worthwhile for people to go there and pick things up. I actually found out recently that to return something, I had to go to an Amazon drop-off point because I don't know if I even talked about this before, but I was gonna have to pay $6 to return something to Amazon. And I was so used to it being free. And I guess people bought crap and then returned it the next day after they used it once and it was costing them money. So now when something doesn't work, you have to actually take it to a drop-off point and it's free.
But what you're saying now is this could be a drop-off point.
Right, because the drop-off point I went to was in the middle of nowhere. In the back of nowhere, and I had to drive off these roads and get there to drop it off. But if it was at a mall, I'd have a reason to go to a mall.
And when you go to the mall, maybe you'll run into the food court, you'll run down to...
Well, I wouldn't go to the food court, but maybe I would go somewhere else.
You need to work with me on this. I'm trying to make a video out of this.
What, would you go to the food court? No. What I'm saying is the Amazon employees would go to the food court. You and I aren't going to the food court. This is what happens when we have no material planned on a Monday morning to film because we didn't do a staff meeting on Friday. This is the importance of staff meetings.
That's right. You have to have a staff meeting or you end up making a video like this.
You end up not knowing what to talk about on Monday because you haven't coordinated anything.
So I do have a point that I want to make.
Yes. Please.
I don't know how many times I've said this. The entrepreneur will always figure it out.
Yep.
Always. No matter what's happening right now, pandemic, no pandemic, businesses are booming. And, you know, we lost a client who has a restaurant and he started a cleaning company. Yep. He's hiring like crazy, having awesome months. I don't know how many staff, 4, 5, 6 staff he hired in the last month. So the entrepreneur will always figure it out. And so this is somebody just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And here's a space, and the guy who has the space wants to rent the space, and Amazon comes along and they want the space. So it's like, let's not just get all bent over backwards about losing traffic into a mall when there's an empty space already there.
I mean, the Sears down the street from here has been empty for over a year now.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that having an Amazon fulfillment center there isn't better?
Yeah, that would be bad.
Than just empty space?
That would be bad.
I mean, I used to go into that Sears all the time because that was the quickest way to get to the movie theater.
Mm-hmm. So I would just like to say the person who wrote the article, who's complaining about Amazon.
I mean, they weren't massively complaining, but they're trying to be like Amazon bad.
I'm just saying they're not an entrepreneur that owns their own business.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. Exactly. They don't think that way.
Yeah, you have to think with being...
So as an entrepreneur, you got to think. In these times, there's so much opportunity because your competition is sitting home thinking like this, thinking about the downside, how it wouldn't work, when there's tremendous, tremendous opportunity because those people now who are sitting home, whining, complaining, blaming a virus that they cannot see, blaming a government that they can't control or whatever. They're at home whining and you just out there with your flashlight looking for opportunity.
Yeah, the entrepreneur is going to think about it. And in fact, I just spoke to somebody this weekend, a friend of ours who's an entrepreneur with his business that does home automation. And what he did at the beginning of all this decline, he bought up as much inventory as he could. And he never has inventory. He never keeps things in inventory. Right. But this time, he bought everything because it was cheaper, and he knew it wasn't going to be available in 6 months.
Right.
So he started buying up everything he could, knowing that he was going to need it. That's the entrepreneur, and it's already paid off for him.
Yeah, and he's booming.
Yeah, exactly. So think outside the box. As we say, now might be a good time for you to expand your business. Get into a cheaper lease in a bigger space because people need it and they're terrified that real estate and all that's going to come crumbling down.
I would just end off with this. If you're still watching.
We're only 9 minutes and 20 seconds into it.
Now's the time to renegotiate your lease. Now is the time. I don't care how many years are left on your lease. Now's the time to renegotiate your lease.
Yep.
There's people who have property and they're looking at open space or whatever, and now's the time to renegotiate.
Yeah, now's a good time. And anyway, think outside the box. Find out what the best kitty litter is on BusinessInsider.com, and we will see you next week on the Newsroom.